My people were biologically determined for one purpose alone, to sense the coming of damn fine podcasts. I sense it coming now. You will never be able to podcast as good as us. Your tongue is too human.
Hey, companions! It's your friend, companion. This is Wade Bowen here, just talking to you real fast. We'll hear from James Nolan and Hugh Crawford real shortly here. Just giving you a heads up. Welcome to a Discovery Home Companion, your place to hear about and even talk about Star Trek Discovery. That's what this is. This isn't a full episode because you know what? Yeah, maybe you don't know. Maybe it has aired, but this is airing before the show has. And so we're going to throw out some quick little mini-sodes here from some of you guys with some of your thoughts. We asked for your thoughts. We have a hotline number at 917-408-3898 where you can have the chance to call in and we'll talk about your call. And we want to know what you guys think about us, but most importantly about Star Trek Discovery. So here's the first of a little mini-sode for that real quick. Maybe we'll sprinkle these out throughout the week and weeks as Star Trek Discovery airs when we have time permitting. Won't take up much of your time. We'll just jump into this quick little mini-sode here and save the really long podcasting sessions, for when we have a TV show to podcast about. Right? Okay. Here we go. All right, well, here we go from Tom from Cleveland, a guy we know from the ROA. Here we go from Tom.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is Tom from Cleveland. I'm calling for the Discovery Home Companion. Great name, by the way. It's not so much a prediction as a concern with Discovery is that Star Trek has always been, at its heart, a very character-driven narrative. A lot of big archetypes, a lot of characters, and I'm not getting a feel for that so much just from what I've seen in the trailers. It's hard to really tell who is up to what and who has what role and where they're going to go. And I understand it's a trailer, but I think that you can do that. And it's a different genre, of course, but if you take like a Thor Ragnarok trailer, which I thought was a really good trailer, you get a vibe for the movie. You get an idea of what it's going to be. And even the characters, if you don't know who they are, you kind of have an idea of how they're going to interact throughout the film by taking a look at the trailer. I think that was a well-done trailer. I don't get that from anything I've seen from Discovery yet. And it's not really even the style. I liked the J.J. Abrams reboot. I thought the first one was good. But one of the things that made it good was they invested time in those characters and they let you get to know them before putting them into a pretty simple narrative of a problem to be overcome, but you had a feel for all those characters. And those movies, I think, subsequently got worse because they moved away from that. They made it more story-driven and less character-driven. And as I said at the beginning, Star Trek is always going to be a character-driven narrative. So those are my concerns. Hopefully, I will be proven wrong. It's always great to see Star Trek on small screen. So fingers crossed for the future. Thanks. Keep up the good work. Bye.
Yeah, no, I think,
Wait, Tom, didn't you already tell us your thoughts on the trailer on the ROA? Sorry, we asked for predictions, motherfucker. Sorry.
No, but I do think that I think that this is the problem of shifting from like a framework show like Voyager or TNG or first two seasons of Deep Space Nine, where it's just about, we give you 8 characters and you just stew in them and then we'll tell stories within those 8 characters. And I think that that's not how they approach Discovery. They approach Discovery as, we're going to tell,
Michael Burnham story.
Yeah. Well, we're going to tell like a hot plot, like a single plot. And that means that you have to keep shit secret. That means that you have to like not tell us who really, like, who they're doing the real job on, like, not telling us who Jason Isaac is, even though
everybody's got a secret.
And
we're gonna.
It seems like
there's a secret, but we're not gonna tell you what it is.
And it seems like in all of the collateral that they're doing for the show right now is really heavily focused on Jason Isaac and really heavily focused on treating Jason Isaac as a Star Trek captain and treating him in that realm, but also not feeding that with any sort of context of how that fits into the show. And I think
there's going to be a reversal on that.
I mean, of course. I mean, we all think I even made the prediction that he's going to be the good guy, and the reversal would be with Michelle Yeoh. But I mean, I think that we all think that some reversal is coming. Either he's the bad guy or Michelle. So there's some sort of thought there, but it's all because it's a single focus show, and that they're not trying to sell you on a status quo, which they'll build on later. And I think that even if that's not how I think that they're trying to sell you on we're Mad Men, and it doesn't matter what you think about Harry Crane. Harry Crane is a function of a bigger story. That even Peter Campbell is a function of a bigger story. And like the way that they probably marketed Voyager, which is like, you have Lana, what's her name? Lana?
B'Elanna Torres.
You have B'Elanna. You have the Doctor.
I think they marketed Voyager as like, oh, remember the Star Trek where they go places? This is that.
Yeah, exactly. but the idea that they're selling you on these characters, and that's probably what they talk about a lot in the 1994 Entertainment Weekly spread on Voyager, is that, and instead they're sort of playing this like close to the vest story thing because they're telling, I don't know, Breaking Bad in space or Mad Men in space. And so they can't like give you too much or the whole thing unravels. My fear.
What was the thing that we watched last year where there were so many secrets that we didn't understand what was going? Everybody had a secret, and it was a secret from the OA. What was it? Well, was it the OA? Or stuff was happening, and everybody had a secret, and we didn't know. We didn't understand what they had.
Lost or the OA would fit into that category. We did too.
Yeah, something. We watched something like that.
Not that we talked about it on the podcast, just that we watched that.
Right, but the three of us watched, and we're like, everybody's got a secret, and they're not explaining anything.
Oh, Westworld.
So,
yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah. If this is Westworld, then Tom is right. We are fucked. If this is not the Star Trek that we want. Right?
I don't want Westworld. No,
especially
there will be robots in this one. Or Brian Fuller said there will be.
The biggest problem with Westworld is that we all figured it out weeks in advance of the finale and the reveal.
My roommates didn't, even after I told them.
I think
I don't understand.
But in general, I think that we all we were all aware of the theory that Jimmy Simpson was Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts for Westworld.
Jeffrey Wright was a robot, and
So we were all ahead of all of this shit, and I think that affects. I think they're worried about that, but I also think that
some Isaac Klingon.
We could watch very easily. We could watch the first episode, get on a podcast, and talk about every potential spoiler, and it's probably all right. That would be really disappointing.
Yeah.
Or it could be and the other way to go is to go and I'm thinking about this because the finale,
Twin Peaks,
but on Twin Peaks where no one guessed anything because nothing makes sense ever, and so it wasn't tipping your hand towards anything, and even if you did guess parts of it, it was sort of glossed over by the weird shit that you didn't guess. So that's fun. That's the two different ways to do that, but you have to be sort of good about it. And the problem that they're sort of backed into a corner where they're not selling us on the characters really. And part of that I think is they're a little bit cowed by this hashtag we're the white people shit, that I'm irritated by. If that is if that's making them scared to tell us more about the gay character or the black characters or anything like that, I'm like, that's fucking sad to me. That they're cowing to that shit. But
I think they're just keeping it close to the vest.
But if they're keeping it close to the vest because the plot is a legit stone cold mystery from the first episode, and I think it may be because nothing really makes sense. Why is it called Discovery? But it's about the Shinzon crew. Like, there's all kinds of realizations, reasons to think that it's fake. It's a fake out. That a lot of the marketing is a fake out. So I think it may be. If it's not, then we're in trouble. So, yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
This has been an ROA podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Caster or Fuckcast or Podsucker. Review us on iTunes. Also grab a bit of fame for yourself by calling us at 917-408-3898 and leaving us a message. We play that shit on air. Or email us at rulesofacquisitionpodcast@gmail.com. Also, listen to our Deep Space Nine podcast, Rules of Acquisition. It is pretty amazing, but you may not yet be ready for its awesome amazingness. Assess your personal awesomeness appropriately.